Hi, it's Erik here with CADAvenue, and today I'll be creating a 3D U-shaped stair using the AEC module, and I'll also be getting into using the elevation line command along with building the walls around the stair just using a simple extrusion technique. So this method could be used in any 3D drawing. So let's go ahead and just start by drawing the walls in. So I'm going to use the rectangle command, and I'm going to just specify from lower left to upper right the widths here. Now I do have dine mode set to 3, and that's the reason why you're seeing the tabs there. So make sure that's turned on. So 30 feet, tab, 40 feet, enter. And then I can go make sure that I've got the interior wall here selected, and also that I'm on floor 1. Now I've gone into my levels manager previously and I've set up a couple of floors here, each at 9 foot high. I'm going to leave a video to a related model that I did showing you more how to use this level manager. So have a look at that. So now I'm going to go ahead and type in the wall command, and I've got my justification set to left. Now, if you're creating a rectangle from lower left to upper right, you're going to need the right justification set here. So I'm going to set that, and then I'm going to choose convert and pick the line here, enter, and then press no to erase the rectangle. Now, if I go into my 3D view using the view cube, you'll be able to see that if I click here, I have that polyline 0 elevation. And I can move that up with the N command. Let's go ahead and move that up. Turn my ortho on, F8, and then move that up to the second floor at 10 feet. Now I can go ahead and toggle into the second floor, type my wall command in, and then C to convert. So I'll just type in C and click the polyline again. I'll keep the rectangle, and then next I'll be building the floor. So I'm going to select the polyline again, and I'm going to type in EXT for extrude, and I'm going to extrude this in a negative 1 foot direction because I'm going down. So that's going to draw my floor in. Now, why don't I go ahead and create a layer? We'll just call this stair wall, and I'm going to set this color here to mustard color here. Move this floor into that layer down in the bottom here. So up here I've activated the layer manager, so I can toggle into this layer to do some of the rest of the model. Let's go into the top view, and next we're going to be drawing in the stair. So we'll come to the stair utility here, select U-shaped stair. We'll specify a few things down here. The width is at 3'4", which is okay, and the height here, 10 feet. Justification, I'm going to go with the left side justification, and everything else looks fine. So the first point is going to be anywhere in model space. Now I want to rotate this around so that the arrow here is on the right side. That's where the bottom of my stair is going to be. And I'm just going to type in the 3'4" plus 4-inch wall, which will be in the middle of that stair. So 3'8", enter. And then I'm going to take my cursor and just drag it all the way to the top here, just to expand that stair up. Next, click the stair, and I'm going to go into my properties palette because I need to turn off and set a couple of things here. So if you'll look into the stair heading here, you'll see terminate with landing. I'm going to change this to tread, and that's only going to draw on this landing and not the landing at the top. And then for the stair style, I'm going to change the landing thickness to 4 inches. So that's really all I need to do with the settings. I can just move this from the midpoint here to the midpoint here. Let's have a quick look at it to make sure it's at the right elevation. It looks fine. So let's undo that. I'm going to build a elevation of this stair. So I'm going to come up here to the elevation tool, which is in the AEC module. And I'm going to click this, and then I'm going to start the elevation. This line is beyond the first tread. And I'm going to project my line through the wall, and I'm going to choose yes to keep hidden lines. And then I'm going to put the elevation up here away from the model. So you can see what I've got is my wall, my floor, really a section of what's going on in the stairs. So from this elevation, I'm going to build my 3D walls using the Extrude tool. First, I'm going to go ahead and explode this, explode it twice here. And then I'm going to take this wall here, and I'm going to type J for join, and that's going to join everything together so I can manipulate this a bit better. Then I'm going to copy it down to this point here, and that's going to give me a sectional view of what's going on. Now down here, I can go ahead and just draw my floor in, and then I need to measure the distance between the first riser and the wall. So the DI command, I'll go ahead and snap here and here. It looks like that's nearly 11 feet, plus the distance of the wall, which is 11.4 to the outside. So what I can do is just take this, copy it over 11.4, and that's going to give me the placement of the wall underneath the stair. I'm going to go ahead and copy this up here 10 feet. Since this is a 9-foot wall and I want a 3-foot high short wall on the second floor, I'll stretch this down 6 feet. To help you visualize what's going on here, here's what it's going to look like when we're finished. You can see the 3 different walls that we're building at this step. Now I want to build just a couple more walls, and these are the walls that follow the stair. So in order to get the angles right, I'm going to go ahead and just create a line, and I'm going to snap it to the end of tread there. I'm going to do the same thing on this run here. This one's going to have a wood rail on it. So I'm going to offset this 4 inches so that it creates a curb for the rail to be sitting on. And so let's go ahead and move that up 4 inches. And I'm going to move this up 3 feet. This is just a 3-foot handrail. And then I'm going to come over and draw a couple more construction lines. This one's going to be 4 inches from the first riser here on the landing. I'm going to start the line command. I'm going to type the from command in the middle of the line command. Then I'm going to snap here and come over 4 inches, and that's going to give me the line here where the handrail starts on this flight here. Now on this flight here, create a construction line here for this right side wall here, and start the line command, again the from transparent command, and then click here and then come up that 4 inches and then come over this way. Now what I can just do is just trim everything up. So using the fillet command into these two here and these two here. Then there's going to be a line here coming off of this wall. Again, the fillet command. And then down here, I need to extend this line to the right side of the wall. So that's the extend command, or the EX command. I'll click this, and then I'll click the line here, and then exit. So now that I have this drawn in, there's one more wall that's on the far left side of the model that goes all the way up to the height of this handrail. And just draw that in real quick using the rectangle command, snapping to the left side of the wall and coming down here. Let's go ahead and switch layers, and I'll just be drawing some polylines, tracing this on that layer. So that's PL for polyline. This one is going to go all the way up here, over here, down, and then down to the floor, and then C for close. So that's one of those walls. That's the middle wall between the stairs. And this one, we'll go ahead and trace this with the PL and come up this way and down, snapping over those points, and C for close. And our last wall is this rectangle. So for this, I'm just going to move it into that 0 layer. Now what I can do is do a lay ISO and just isolate those shapes. And I'm going to move this away from that elevation and lay on ISO. See how we're looking at it at the wrong angle. So I'm going to rotate this by pressing the space bar a couple times, rotate it this way, and bring it back up again. Now we can extrude these shapes. So we'll select all the shapes, type EXT for extrude, and then I'll be extruding this 4 inches. Now let's have a look at the model again. So let's select all the shapes here, type in ROT or 3D rotate, select that from the menu. And then I'm going to just put my hinge point, the bottom here, that will be where it's rotating from, and then pointing the cursor in this direction to rotate it up like this. Now, there's a couple of critical dimensions here. Now, one is the 11'4", which we already know about. That's the distance between this point here and the outside of the wall, 11'4". But then there's this distance here. This is how we're going to drag those walls into place. So if we do a distance here between this and this, it comes out to being a 4 3/8 of an inch. So keep that in mind. Let's go ahead and toggle here. We'll just toggle to this here. Let's just zoom down on the stair here, and we're going to create a construction line coming out that 4 3/8 of an inch. So we'll select the walls again. We'll be moving it from this point here. See that point there where the stair curve starts? Going to move it from here, and then we're going to do a apostrophe Z, which is a transparent zoom. And we're going to zoom down again into this area, and then we'll just snap it right here to this point.
I'm also using a AutoCAD alternative called AutoCAD, and we're in our 2025 release now. If you have AutoCAD, maybe you'd like to have a look at that if you're interested in a alternative. AutoCAD's native file type is also DWG, and the two programs can work side by side.
Now we can just start moving these walls over. Remember that 3'8" distance? That's the distance of the stair and the wall added up. This wall is already in its proper place, the one that's sloping. But this one, this is the wall mid between the two lights. We can move this over 3'8". I do have my ortho turned on, so I'm making sure that I'm straight when I'm moving that. This one gets moved over double the 3'8" distance, which is 7'4". So we're going to select it and then bring this over 7'4". So let's have a quick look at the model now. If we go and do the front view, and see all the walls align like they should. Let's go into a 3D view again. Let's go into the top view, and then we'll go into this view here. And we do need to build a wall right here underneath the stair. And this wall will go up to the bottom of the floor. Because we know this width is 3'4", and we know the bottom of the floor is at 9 feet, we can just simply create a rectangle, put it up here. That'll be 3'4" and 9 feet. There's a couple of more pieces that we need to extrude as well. But let's talk about the floor openings. So as you come up this stair, there's going to be a rail here. That rail needs to separate itself from the edge of floor above. Otherwise, the rail is going to just hit the floor. And so I was thinking about a distance of 1'6" away from this rail here, where the opening will take place. So let's go ahead and just draw that in. So the opening, let's use the line command and do the from transparent command, and then put this here, make this a 1'6", and we want this to align with this wall here, so we'll just highlight it and then align it this way. That's going to be the edge of opening. Let's just snap here to the last riser here, and then come up this way, over, up, and close. Let's go into 3D view, and we need to check to make sure that this is actually on the 9-foot mark. If it's not, we need to move it. Let's list this here, and you can see the Z of it, 13 feet. So that's at the wrong elevation. So we need to move this down 4 feet. And now we can extrude this 1 foot. So we're going to do EXT, click this, and extrude that up 1 foot. Now we need to subtract this from the floor. So we use the subtract command. We click the floor here, enter, and then we click this opening here, enter. We can shade it to see our results here. So next we need to just create some short walls that go around this opening. And we'll just find the distance here. And we already know this distance is 11'4". So we can draw this wall in pretty easily. Let's go to the top view. We'll do the shade mode and we'll select 2D wireframe. And now we'll add a couple more walls here. So the first wall is going to be this distance, the distance between this point and this point. So that's 5'6", which you can see here. And this should be 11'4" here. Actually 11 feet, but then we have our 4 inches here. We'll go ahead and create a couple more. So a couple more rectangles. So we got the 5'6" and 3 foot. And then the other wall is, we'll just put her right on top of this one. 11'4", tab, 3 foot. Let's go ahead and extrude all these 4 inches. So EXT and 4 inches. Let's go ahead and just move these away from the model, and we'll go in 3D view and we'll go ahead and rotate these up and do them all together. ROT, and then rotate 3D from this point here. Now this is the hinge that we're going to be rotating it from, and then put our ortho on again and point the cursor up this way. Now what we can do is move this wall to this point here, and we'll move this wall. We're going to select it from the inside, so this point here, and press the space bar, move it. Then we'll select this corner here, and this wall here needs to be turned. So let's select it, press the space bar 2 times, and then rotate it out this way here. Let's select the wall like this. Let's just have a look at this quick here. Yes. So we'll select this wall here and the left grip here, space bar, and then we'll just click it right here at this corner. So I believe it all lines up correctly. Let's shade this, and then you can see all these walls together. The opening and the short walls here around the stair, go ahead and isolate ISO, because these are on the wrong layers, and move these to the stair wall layer. I moved them to the 0 layer temporarily. Yeah, get rid of this one here, lay on ISO. There's a couple of things that I wanted to do. If I go into my shade mode, let's turn the shade on. So let's just spin this around this way and have a look at the stair railing area here. So I'm going to go ahead and create a 3D poly. So that's 3D and P. And I'm going to snap from there to the midpoint here, and then to the midpoint here. Now there is something that I need to do down at this end. I need to bring this 3D poly line up. The reason for that is I want the post to sit on the curve. And so the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to use the UCS command, and I'm going to choose 3 for 3 point. And this will be my X, and then this will be my Y. NEA, and then find the point here on the curve. I notice how it's rotated, the X and Y for me. I'll type in L for line, draw a construction line here, and then move this line here up on this curve up 3 inches. And then take this line here and bring it up perpendicular, and that will stretch that line up 3 inches. So now that I've stretched that line up that 3 inches at that angle, I need to reset my UCS. So I'll reset the UCS to world. That brings the X and Y back to where it was, and then come up into my railings and then choose convert, and then convert this 3D poly. I'll say yes to erase it. Now on this side, if you look at the rail, it's basically inside the wall there. So what I need to do is bring this rail back. I'm going to click it. There's like a little arrow here, and I need to bring this back, point it in the direction here, and then type in 2. So in the last part of this video, what I wanted to do was to show you how to create a perspective view of the stair. It's actually pretty easy. What we need to do is go into top view. We'll go into our view tab here, and we need to create a camera. Camera's going to create the 3D perspective for us. Then I'll click here, and then I'll project my line down, sort of in the middle of this room here. And then I will snap here at this rail up here. What this is going to do is it's going to tilt the camera up so it's looking a little bit up the stair. And then I can specify the height. And the height here is going to be 6 foot, and then exit. Now what I can do is go into my views, go into my model, my custom model views, select this new camera that I created. And as you can see, if I shape the model here, you can see the result. Now, while you're in this view, you can go up to the real-time orbit and then orbit around to a different angle. And then you could, if you wanted to, go into the view manager here and then come down and create a new view here underneath the model views. Just give it a new name. We'll just say lower floor stair. That way you can just easily go back into that view at a later date. Let's go back into our top view here, and let's create another camera on the second floor. We'll just go ahead and click camera again, and this time let's just project the line from this side of the stair down this way. For our target location, let's just put it out here somewhere. Let's not snap to anything yet. And then we'll choose the height here at 16 feet and exit. Now, if we want with these grips, we'll take this grip here at the end here of that line, and we can adjust it so that it's looking at the stair a little bit better. Now we can click on our view and then choose camera 2. Go ahead and shade. And again, if we want, we can adjust that with the real-time orbit if we need to. And notice how the model is a little bit skewed. We can adjust that as well using the real-time Z option, which allows you to fix the angle of that. And then again, if we want to, we could save this view for later. Notice how some of the walls, you can see how we join those walls together here. We can fix that as well by using the union command. So we select a solid here, we select a solid here, and then we type in union. That cleans up that corner there. Again, we can do the same here. Select this, and then select this wall here, type in union, and that just cleans it up a little bit. The other thing I want to mention is the walk command, the 3D walk command. If you choose this, using your arrow key, you can adjust the view as well as though you're like walking in the model. There's a setting here which allows you to change the step distance or the step size and the steps per second, so that as you pull down your arrow, it moves a lot faster. So play around with that as well. If you had a way of recording your screen, which there are several utilities out there that do that, you could make a movie as you walk through the model as an option. So I hope this video has been helpful. Feel free to email or call me. The number here is 888-271-7121. Have a great day.